Hi guys. Okay, so this is Monday's math lesson, and we are taking one math lesson and we're splitting it up into 2 days. For today's math lesson, we are going to do 3 review problems using your number grid, and then we are going to solve problems about animal weights. We're going to be adding animal weights together using different strategies, but you'll need your whiteboard and your marker and your eraser, and you will also need your number grid, and then possibly counters or base 10 blocks to solve these problems. So if you need a second to gather all those materials, you can pause the video now, get them, and then start the video again. Okay, so we're going to do review problems, then we're going to solve 3 problems together, and then there are practice problems that you can do at the end if you would like to. Let's get started with our review problems. I'm going to turn so you can see all of my materials. All right, on your number grid, I would like you to find the number that is 10 more than 20. What number is 10 more than 20? I'm going to give you a second. So we're going to find 20, and we're going to go 10 more. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there's a faster way. There's a shortcut, and that shortcut is to go down 1 row, and that's adding 10. So plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. If I start at 20 and I add 10, it gets me to 30. What is 10 more than 20? The answer is 30. All right, number 2. What is 10 more than 54? Give you a second to solve that. 10 more than 54. All right, we are going to find 54 on our number grid. Now you can go down and find where 50s begin and then go over that way to 54, or you can listen to the last number 54, find the 4 column and go down to where you see 54. That's the number we're working with. I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to circle it. 10 more than 54. Now I remember from when we added 10 more to 20, we just went down a row and that was 10 more. So I'm going to go down the row and I land at 64. 64 is 10 more than 54. All right, let's look at number 3. What number is 10 less than 80? 10 less than 80. Okay, I'll give you a second to figure that out, and then we'll work on it together. All right, 10 less than 80. I'm going to find 80. I know it ends in a 0, so all of those numbers that end in a 0 are over here. There's 80. 10 less than 80. Now I have been adding 10 more, and I've been going down a row, down a row, down a row. But now I'm not adding, I'm subtracting 10 less. So I'm subtracting. So I am going to go up a row. So this is like subtracting 10. And I land at 70. 70 is 10 less than 80. Okay, I am going to do some erasing real quick. You can do some erasing also if you ended up writing anything on your number grid. You're going to be using your number grid in other ways today. I'm going to drop my number grid so that we can get started on our first problem, which is the math message. There we go. All right, so let's read this math message. It says, a fox weighs 14 pounds. A cat weighs 7 pounds. What is their total weight? So this problem is asking you how much these 2 animals weigh together. We know that the fox weighs 14 pounds. And we know that the cat weighs 7 pounds. How much do they weigh all together? So I'm going to ask you to just take a few seconds to try and figure out that problem. We're going to go over it. So if you are having a hard time with it, we'll solve this problem a couple of different ways and talk about all the ways that we could solve this problem. So I'd like you to go ahead, pause the video, take a second to solve this problem, and then start the video again when you're ready to solve the problem with me. Okay. All right. So I've assumed that you have stopped the video and solved this problem. Now we're going to go over it together. So we know that we are adding two numbers together, and we're coming up with how much these animals weigh together, adding together. What are some tools that you could use to solve this problem? You could use counters. You could use base 10 blocks. You could use your number line. You could use your number grid, like we were using for the problems earlier today. You could draw a picture, okay? I'm going to show you one way to organize this, then we'll solve it one way, and then I'll show you a number sentence. So, I'm going to go back to a part and total diagram. And you certainly don't have to use this, but this is just one way for me to organize my thinking and figure out what I need to find. So I know that a fox weighs 14 pounds. That's one part of my problem. And I know that the cat weighs 7 pounds. That's another part of my problem, but I don't know how much they weigh all together. So my number sentence is going to be 14 plus this box over here, which is 7, but then I don't know what I need to find yet. So that's what I need to find. That helps my brain, and that looks like a funky plus. That helps my brain figure out what the next step is. So now that I figured out this, now I have to figure out a tool to solve this problem. So let's go back and use the number grid since we were just using that. So our problem is 14 plus 7 equals something. Well, that's pretty easy to figure out. I find the 14 and I add 7 and that gives me the answer. Let's do that. Here's 14 and let's add 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm at 14, I added 7, and the answer was 21. So the fox and the cat, together, they weigh 21 pounds. Now, if I had solved this using base 10 blocks, I might draw 10s and 1s mat. And this is my longs, my 10s, and this is my cubes, my 1s. And you actually have this and you could use your base 10 blocks. My base 10 blocks are magnetic and they won't stick to this board. So I'm going to draw a line to represent a long, and I'm going to draw a dot or a cube to represent a cube. So I had 14, the fox weighs 14 pounds. I'm going to put 14 on my base 10 blocks. 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Easy peasy, right? Now I'm going to put the amount that the cat weighs. I'm going to add the amount that the cat weighs to this. The cat weighs 7 pounds. All right, I'm going to add 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm looking at the number of dots there and I think it's pretty big. So we're going to count, and if it's more than 10, we're going to do an exchange. So I just did 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's more than 10. So I need to take 10 dots off and put a long on. So I'm going to count out 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all except that one dot are going to come off, and I'm going to do a long. And now I'll erase those dots. So I have 10, 21. 2 10s, 1 long, 21. It's the same number I got using my number grid. The fox and the cat weigh 21 pounds together. Okay, that is problem number 1. Let's do another problem. I'm going to leave the part and total diagram up there to organize my thinking, and I'll give you a second to solve the problem. So if you have a whiteboard out, now would be a great time to clear it. If you drew on your number grid, now would be a great time to erase it. And let's look at our next problem. So this is problem number 1. That was the math message. This is problem number 1. Again, I'll read the problem, and I want you to try and solve it, and then we will try and solve it together, okay? So let's read. A raccoon weighs 23 pounds. A fox weighs 14 pounds. How much do they weigh all together? I'm going to read it one more time. A raccoon weighs 23 pounds. A fox weighs 14 pounds. How much do they weigh all together? How much do they weigh all together? So we're adding here. We know the raccoon weighs 23 pounds, and we know the fox weighs 14 pounds. Go ahead, pause the video, take a second, try and solve this problem on your own. When you're ready to go through it with me, unpause the video, play the video again, and then we will walk through it. So take this second to pause the video. Okay, I'm assuming that you've tried this problem on your own, and now we're going to walk through it together. So I'm going to fill in my part and total diagram so I have an idea of what I'm being asked for. So a raccoon weighs 23 pounds. That's part of my problem. A fox weighs 14 pounds. That's another part of my problem. I need to figure out how much they weigh all together. 14 looks a little funky. There we go. My number sentence would be 23 plus 14 equals, we're not sure yet. Okay. All right. So I need to think about now how I'm going to solve this. Am I going to use counters? Am I going to use base 10 blocks? Am I going to use my number grid? My number line's not going to work because the number line doesn't go above 20 or maybe 25. So that's not going to be a good tool for this problem, and neither is a picture, because a picture with 23 things and then 14 more things, that's going to take a lot of my time. So figure out what strategy you used, and I am going to start, I think, by doing base 10 blocks. So I'm going to draw my 10s and 1s map. And here's my 10s. Here's my 1s. How much does the raccoon weigh? My first part is 23. So I'm going to add that to my board. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. 2 longs, 3 cubes. 2 longs, 3 cubes. Then I'm going to add the other part to my board. 14. 1 long, 4 cubes. 1 long, 4 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to figure out all together how much is on my board. I took the weight of the raccoon and I put it on there, and then I took the weight of the fox and I put it on there, and now it's going to tell me how much they weigh all together. Let's count. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So this is telling me, using base 10 blocks, that together the raccoon and the fox weigh 37 pounds. Let's check that using our number grid. All right, so gonna start at the bigger number, which is 23, and I'm gonna add 14. Are you ready? Here's 23. I'm gonna add 14. 14 hops is a lot, so I'm gonna hop really carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I landed at 37 also. Okay, I'm gonna show you a quick shortcut. We started at 23 and we had to add 14. Now we know by looking over here that 14 has 1 10 in it. So if I were to use my shortcut in my number grid, I could go 10, I just added 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I still land at 37. That's just a shortcut to save you some hops. Go down, add 10, and then add the 4. All right, 37 is the answer to problem number 1. We're gonna flip this over, clear your board, clear your number grid, and we are going to work on problem number 2. All right, let's read the problem together. A flamingo weighs 9 pounds and a koala weighs 19 pounds. How much do they weigh all together? Okay, all together, that means I'm adding how much they weigh all together. A flamingo weighs 9 pounds, that's the first part of my problem. And a koala weighs 19 pounds. And I need to figure out how much they weigh all together. So my number sentence is going to be 9 plus 19 equals, and I forgot to tell you to pause after I read the problem. So if you haven't paused to solve this on your own, take that time right now to hit pause, solve the problem, try to solve the problem on your own, then we'll come back and do this. All right, so I've assumed that you've paused it and tried it on your own. So we have 9 plus 19. Well, I could use my base 10 blocks. I could use a number grid. I could use counters. Number line, probably not the best use because I don't think it's going to go above 20 or 25. And counters probably not the best tool because 19 is a lot to count. I might not have that many counters, and drawing a picture 19 is a lot to draw. So I would definitely stick to base 10 blocks. I would definitely stick to a number grid. Okay, those are 2 really good strategies. So let's start with our number grid. Now, I could start at 9 and I could go up 19 hops. But man, oh man, 19 hops is a lot. So I could make a real big mistake if I tried to count up 19 hops. So I think I'm going to start at the bigger number. And is that okay in addition? Yes, because the turnaround rule. We can go 9 plus 19, or we could go 19 plus 9. And they're both going to have the same answer. Okay, so let's start at 19 and let's hop up 9. So I'm going to find my 19 and I'm going to count up 9 hops. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I landed at 28. 9 plus 19, when I add those 2 numbers together, I get 28. I'm also going to show you another quick shortcut on your number grid. Instead of making 9 hops, I can think to myself, wait a minute, 9 is 1 less than 10. I know a shortcut about adding 10 on a number grid. So I could go 10 and then I could go backwards 1 because I know that 9 is 1 less than 10 and I landed 28. If you wanted to use your base 10 blocks, it would be very similar to how we've been doing it. 10s and 1s, I would put up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I would put up 19 more. Well, 19, I see 1 10, 9 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's way more than 10. So I need to do an exchange. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is one group of 10. Do I have another group of 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. So I'm going to take that group of 10, turn it into a long, take it off of my board so I don't count it twice. And now let's count. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 2 10s, 8 ones, 28. The same I got there. Okay, so I have solved that problem, those 3 problems with you about adding animal weights together. If you would like some more practice with this, I've created a Google Doc, and it is in Google Classroom that you can practice solving. There's 3 more practice problems there that you can practice solving. So if you'd like more practice, go to Google Classroom and look at that document, and it will have 3 more math practice problems. Other than that, that's the end of our math lesson today. So I will see you tomorrow for math. Bye, guys.